Yo, what's up guys? Today, I'm going to do another commentary on Insideout Fan 2001, but this time, it's going to be on his rant on Scoob. Now I tell this rant's going to suck because he gave out poor excuses to hate on this movie and he took this movie way to the extreme. So anyways, enjoy my commentary.
What's up y'all, Insideout Fan 2001 here today to review Scoob. Oh boy. So Scoob is about basically Scoob in the game. Well, Scoob and Shaggy get kidnapped by this Falcon Fury, and basically they're wanting to go against the evil, dastardly Dick. So the gang is trying to find him and all that. With his plans to take over the world with some stupid reasons. Now I would have been nuts if I forgot to include Scoob on my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2020. Scoob is one of my favorite Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
I agree. Scooby-Doo is also one of my favorite Hanna-Barbera cartoons. It's such a great classic.
And I was very curious to see where Warner Brothers was going to take this character. And shockingly, people, this was one of my birthday gifts. Yeah, it wasn't available to rent anymore. Right now it's only available to buy. And despite its backlash it gotten, I still wanted this movie to be at least good. So I finally watched Scoob on Thursday, aka my birthday, and another time on a road trip. And so, all I gotta say is...
This was a disappointment.
How is it a disappointment? Are you going to explain why? Or are you just going to give out poor excuses to hate on this movie?
That's right, people. I was majorly disappointed with this movie, to the point that it hit rock.
Well, to me, it's a pretty decent movie. But Trolls World Tour is definitely one of my least favorite movies of 2020. Although I'm still decent to Scoob, and I still hate Trolls World Tour.
Like it land right on the tip of its nose. With that being said, I don't entirely hate this movie. I'll say,
which again, to me, it's not that bad as a movie, but to me, I think it's pretty decent. Though it's not my favorite movie of 2020. My favorite movie of 2020 is definitely Soul, in my opinion.
say this, the animation definitely looks great, guy.
I agree, the animation looks so good.
And easily the best parts of this movie are the first 15 minutes, where you get to see the origins of how Shaggy and Scooby met. It was touching, sweet, and that trick-or-treating scene where the gang as kids stop that evil suspect was cute. But once Shag and Scoob get sucked up in the Falcon jet, things go downhill.
How did things go downhill? Are you gonna explain why, or just gonna give out poor excuse to hate on this movie?
And this is where we get to where the movie screwed up. Once we get on the Falcon Fury, the movie just becomes so boring.
How does the movie become so boring? Are you gonna explain why, or just gonna give out poor excuses to hate on this movie?
And yeah, the scenes on the Falcon Fury freaking dragged. The story just lost a point of direction at that point. Shaggy and Scooby in this movie, one of the greatest animated cartoon duos ever made. I honestly didn't felt their bond. Shaggy in this movie, he was funny in the cartoon and the TV movies. But here, he's annoying.
How is he annoying? Are you gonna explain why? Or are you just gonna give out poor excuses to hate on this movie? And also, stop taking this movie way to the extreme.
Daphne, Velma, and Fred, they're just there. Yeah, they're just there. And Blue Falcon, voiced by Kate Yeager. I'll just say, I'm glad it's Trolls and Hanna-Barbera 2007 current profile on his channel. But I'm sorry, people. I did not find that guy interesting. And also, there are some characters that you see, like just some random characters from like a different Hanna-Barbera cartoon. And then you just never see them again. Voiced by You Left Without Me. Again. This is messed up. Yeah, he was just there in the arena. We're like in Dinosaur World not very long. And I would have loved a cameo from like the Flintstones. That would have been cool. But now we get this pop culture reference. And also the jokes. My goodness. Not one single moment I laughed. Not one. Like, Daphne having to, like, complain about for paying Netflix. Like, why do we need this in a Scooby-Doo movie? And some of the jokes are just so awful. Like,
How other jokes are awful? Are you gonna explain why? Or just gonna give out poor excuses to hate on this movie?
it's not even for kids.
Ryan. Last time you listened to someone on the
Really? Scoob is rated PG, and it's made for kids. And it's also from Warner Brothers.
internet, you thought Tinder was.
Yeah, this movie bizarrely wants to be edgy. I mean, sure, Shrek was edgy, but at least Shrek had a point to it. This here, just no. And finally, the villain, Dick Dastardly. This villain stinks even harder than Rugger's poo. Even with his relationship with his long-lost dog, I just didn't feel anything. And his robot-like minions, they really got annoying. Like every animated comic relief nowadays gotta be like the Minions. But I'll admit, there was one gorgeously amazing moment. Like you see this blonde-haired police officer, which at that moment I was like, oh my goodness, this has to be the most sexiest woman. And yeah, this disguise just ruined it. And I instantly lost all sympathy. Speaking of other disguises, they also used Simon. Yep, that Simon. Went from...
I'm going to skip this part. Also, I forgot to mention, Warner Brothers is for everybody, not just for kids. And Scoob is rated PG. It's for everybody. I forgot to mention that, guys.
Nick Kicks 2001. It's one of his favorite movies of all time. And sorry, dude, if this rant absolutely offended you. I'm very sorry. Frozen HP fanatic also loves it, and he supports Hanna-Barbera Cinematic Universe. But I'm sorry, fans. This movie didn't do anything for me, and I gotta give it 1 out of 5 stars. So yeah, people, I desperately wanted to defend this movie. I would have loved for it to make my best movies of the year, but it ended up being one of my worst movies of the year. Well, thank y'all for watching, and good job!
Well, that rant was awful. All he ever did just gave out poor excuses. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Peace out, y'all.